So I know that in 2018, the Klover mics were used at the Olympics. Can you tell us more about that event, what they were used for?
Well, we've been used, at all sorts of major events, including the World Series and Super Bowls. But we were pretty excited back in 2018 to find out that an order from one of our dealers was going to the Rio Olympics. Unfortunately, they don't provide any details about where they were going to be used or how they were going to be used. But we know they were there. We just don't know how they were used.
Yeah. Did you find this out because of like where they had you send them, or how did you find out through the dealer?
It was primarily just that they had to have them by a certain date so that they could be included with all the other hardware that was headed for the Olympics.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have like a custom package going to Rio or anything like that.
No, no, not that time.
And then what about this last Olympics, the 2020/2021 Olympics? Do you know if any ended up being used there or?
Well, actually, for the 2020/2021 Olympics, we were actually approached back in 2018 at a trade show, an international broadcasters convention in Amsterdam. We were approached because they were going to have baseball again at the Olympics for the first time in, I believe it was 12 years. And so they were looking again at how to best capture the audio of baseball. And since our products are used quite widely for baseball in the States, they talked to us and, were asking questions and so forth. And then actually the summer of 19, I believe it was, they collected, a wide range of different microphones and so forth for testing, and chose our parabolics to use um, for the 2020 Olympics, which then were pushed back, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've seen some diagrams of how you've done baseball diamonds in the past with just the different sizes, so you don't end up getting too deep of a field, because I know your biggest one can reach for way, way far away. So you actually use a smaller one, around the third base and first base, which just think is very fascinating. Do you know what events they ended up using them at the 2021 Olympics?
Well, we're very confident that they were used at the baseball venue, but unfortunately they had a lot of banners, placards, signage, whatever, around the baseball diamond, and so we're pretty sure that our parabolics were behind those banners, if you will. So we're highly confident they were used at baseball just from the sound that they were getting and so forth. And then we also happened to find them being used at handball. So the only sport that we actually know for certain that they were used is the handball events.
Yeah, but they might have been out of screen at some other events. Do you have pictures of them at handball?
Actually, I do, and there you can see they had two different operators holding our 16-inch units on the side of the handball court, and because of the operators having to move around and follow the action, they were right there in the open where they could be seen. But in many cases, the broadcasters try very hard to hide the equipment, like the parabolics and cameras and so forth. So we're pretty sure they were used at other venues, just not visible. And unfortunately, we had a friend, a good customer, that was going to act as a spy for us and try to spot them, but because of COVID, they couldn't even leave the broadcast building, so that didn't work out as we had hoped.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad that they did their research beforehand, before COVID and everything caused the distance gap to have to be increased so much due to COVID. So yeah, that's pretty impressive, not gonna lie.
Well, thanks. Yeah, we were pretty excited about it, and we've actually had it hinted, or we were told by the leasing company that they'll be headed to Beijing for the Winter Olympics. So we're excited that maybe we'll be able to catch a glimpse of a few more at Beijing.